GNC, go. Fido, go. Okay, go, bud.
Cabin pressurization is underway.
As we prepare for ignition. Flight recorders are on. T-minus 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. We have liftoff.
There's a star waiting in the sky. He'd like to come and meet us, but he thinks he'd blow our minds. There's a star waiting in the sky. He's told us not to fly. Now it's always one. People. Let the children use it. Let the children use it. Let all the children boogie.
To infinity.
And
All right, hello and welcome to the 206. My name is Mark, coming to you from Seattle, Washington, and this is the Changing Directions Filmmaker interview series. Joining me for today's conversation is the one, the only, Angus MacLane, director of Lightyear, the latest release from Disney and Pixar. Angus, welcome to the 206.
Hello, calling to you from the 510. nice to chat with you.
Absolutely. Thank you for taking the time. Now, first off, Buzz Lightyear himself is one of Disney and Pixar's most iconic characters. So what does it mean for you to have this opportunity to expand on Buzz's story in such a fun and meaningful way?
Well, it's a couple of things. It's a dream come true, but Buzz is a character that I've experienced more as a creator than as a consumer.
Okay.
I'm very much, I've gotten this question like, were you nervous about it? You're like, it's like, well, I'm working with my brother, Stan. Stan I know he's very famous, but he's still my brother, Stan. I know he puts his pants on one leg at a time. He's not actually that exciting, Stan. I know he's world famous, but don't worry about Stan. So
Sure.
Yeah, to me, it really was an opportunity to expand on the universe of Buzz, that I felt like, because Buzz had been such a caricature of Star Trek and Star Wars,
Sure.
to find a way to legitimize his backstory into something new. And it's very dangerous to give specificity to something that people have had opinions about. There's been some work on, but I felt like there was a way to bring it into more of a hard sci-fi action adventure world of danger and excitement that would have a lot of entertainment value and resonance.
No, absolutely. And that's one of the things that I really love about it is the fact that it's just so, such a science fiction adventure story. And in the movie, Buzz tackles time travel in a really unique way as well. And, that seems appropriate to me, since I feel like if making a Pixar movie is a challenge that takes several years to complete, I would imagine coming out of a project like this, it kind of feels a bit like time travel.
That's 100% what it's based on. We are not very creative people. We write what we know, and the time dilation aspect was meant to mirror the production cycle of a Pixar movie.
Okay.
Likewise, that Pixar's strength is in not the individuals, but the collective working together.
Right.
I'm speaking to you today, but I'm talking about work that represents, hundreds of people. Yeah. I'm just the funnel for their creativity. So the message of the movie, there's so much very personal messaging, because through that personal specificity, you can find the universal. And the universal we were chasing was the idea of, if you spend too much time looking to the past or looking to the future, then you can miss the right now.
I know, I love that. And, it's a really great message to have in there. And Angus, as I mentioned, I'm here in Seattle, and you grew up in Portland, and so we definitely have a Pacific Northwest connection here today. And I have to give a shout out to my friend. His name is Melvin, who he's lived in Portland for many years, and he went to watch the movie, and he noticed something that I actually didn't catch when I watched the movie. A lot of your characters are named after bridges that connect different parts of downtown Portland. So how did that idea come about? And are there any other, a lot of people refer to Portland as Stumptown. I was going to say, are there any other Stumptown references you may have snuck into the movie aside from that?
No, it's just the bridges. I wanted to be a very clean single thing, but the Portland, it's a reference to Portland because Portland was the inspiration for the movie. Huh? When I would go on these 4-year journeys of making movies, oftentimes afterwards I would visit my parents in Portland, Oregon, and I noticed that the town would change in little ways and in ways that no one in Portland seemed to notice. And everyone was getting older, and that was pretty much like time dilation. And so because of that inspiration, I wanted to just give back a little bit. I don't know how Seattle is, but Portland has a lot of hometown pride. Anything where Portland is seen on the world stage means a lot. And so that to me is something that I wanted to celebrate because I always feel like I have this sense of nostalgia for Portland that I wanted to celebrate in a subtle way that only people from the Pacific Northwest would know or appreciate.
No, absolutely. Thank you for diving into that for a moment. I love that angle on it.
Thank you.
So, Angus, is there a movie or maybe a movie related moment that you look back on as kind of the ground zero for who you are and who you've become as a filmmaker?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, seeing the original Star Wars, it's a cliche, certainly for people of my generation, but seeing Star Wars at age 3 in the theater, it was the first movie I saw, and it changed me. I'm not sure it was healthy because here we are so many years later, and I'm still obsessing about the same like 3 things. But that was a big deal. I think seeing Aliens in the theater at age 11 was a big deal. Seeing Toy Story in the theater was a big deal. And those 3 movies probably, they changed the course of my life, really, those 3 movies.
No, that's amazing. And I'm right there with you. I was 4 years old the first time I saw Star Wars in the theater. So I think we're kind of revealing ourselves a bit.
That's fine. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
There's so few of us because Generation X is the forgotten generation. It's just nobody knows about us. Under the radar.
Definitely. Now, follow-up question on that same angle. Who inspires you that's not a filmmaker?
Who inspires me that's not a filmmaker? Well, he's tangentially related, but I gotta say Fred Rogers is pretty inspirational.
Nice.
That guy would just never quit.
Right.
And his message of positivity and earnestness is such a harsh contrast to the modern life. That level of patience and humility and love is something that is sadly missing, and I would hope to aspire to. It's so much easier to be cynical and to not be empathetic or emotional, but I think that one of the things that I feel like I learned from watching Mr. Rogers was the ability to try to empathize with other people, and I'm still in awe of his abilities. Entertainment wise, it didn't hold a candle to Electric Company or even Sesame Street, but I admire his message.
No, I totally agree with that. And his message from the day one that he started through, his entire run of the TV show was so consistent. And like you put it, just that quality of who he was as an individual is really what was the thing that would shine through for me, watching him as a child. So one last question for you, Angus, and thank you again for doing this. When you look back at the entire process of creating Lightyear and being involved with that character that we all love, what's the first thing that sticks out that gives you a feeling of gratitude?
Um, well, you make these movies, and it's a very, aside from the crew, it's a very isolating process,
Yeah.
And that's pretty much been the same. I mean, it's even more so in the COVID era. You're seeing the view of much of what my crew saw for most of the film. And so when the film was, I'd never seen the movie with an audience, and we had the wrap party where everyone gets to see the movie for the first time together. And seeing that movie and hearing people's reactions and being all together was, very, very emotional to me.
Wow.
But you don't know what the movie means. And that group of people, they're celebrating with their family, their loved ones. You don't know, it means a lot to everyone, but you have the frame of reference because you all made this thing together, and it's
right.
the shared experience, that the collective marker of your creative achievement and your technical and artistic abilities at that point is what made that movie. And I could not be more proud of the work that everyone did. But on the audience side, I have received a lot of very personal messages about how the movie affected people. And that is in a positive way. And it is very hard to shake, and is deeply affecting. And so when you make a movie like this and you wonder, oh, I could be doing, it's no big deal, it's entertainment or whatever. You occasionally will get messages from people that your movie really affected them in a positive way. And the movies take so long, and you start to see, I think of it like the curvature of the earth. You start to see the curvature of the earth where you're seeing yourself in younger people, and the trajectory that they're making, the choice that they're making in their lives, and you see how much you've changed or how you've grown, and you realize the impermanence of everything. But all you can give is the impression or the entertainment that the movies can bring. And so I've already gotten a reaction from people that was more than I ever could have hoped to affect people. And that means a lot to me.
Oh, absolutely. I love the fact that you're able to get that back after all the years and time and effort that you put into it. So that's fantastic. Thank you. So Angus, I'm grateful for the chance to speak with you today. And thank you so much for having this conversation.
Thank you.
And the movie is Lightyear. This is Mr. Angus MacLane. My name is Mark, and this is the 206 Changing Directions Filmmaker Interview Series. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and also check out 206.com, the official home of all content from the 206. Thank you so much. Be safe, and we'll see you next time.